Hey girl. Let's get you added in. Just added you in, so it should work. Hey!
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Excited to be talking with you.
You
I'm going
too.
to start with the intro, and
Yeah.
then after that, I'll have you introduce yourself.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me get this ready. Hey guys, welcome to Behind the Scene Late Night Grind, where we interview some of your favorite competitors. I'm your host, Regina Perez Fitness, IFBB Pro, posing and competition coach. Here with me, I have my amazing guest, and I'm going to have her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Phoebe. I'm an IFBB Fit Model Pro. I'm Australian, but I'm based in the UK. And yeah, had my first pro season. Uh, the past two shows I had was Vancouver and the Portugal Pro. So I've had two shows in the pro season so
Yeah,
far.
similar to me, girl. And we're
Yeah,
going to get into all of the details because
excited.
I want to know your journey, how you started, like all of the
Yeah.
things. And so tell us, we like to start with a little get to know you. So it's this or that. And just a couple of questions. So,
Yes.
do you prefer morning or afternoon workouts?
Morning, 100%,
Me
always.
too. Get it out the way. Cardio or strength training?
Strength training can't be
Yes.
cardio.
Same for me. When you wake up, do you prefer when you're getting ready to work out coffee, pre-workout, or energy drink to get you started?
I would say coffee. I would say
Coffee.
coffee for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Heels or sneakers?
Oh, I love both. I'll just say sneakers. Let's just say sneakers because it
Sneakers.
can work with everything.
Yes, this is true. And then your favorite snack during prep.
Oof. It would be flavored rice cakes. We've
Okay,
got a really
yes.
good flavor, blueberry vanilla
Oh, I
with
haven't had that
peanut
one.
butter. Yeah, in the
I'm gonna
UK we
have
have
to try
one
that.
that flavor I can highly recommend.
Yes. Okay. And so tell us a little bit about how you got started in the bodybuilding community.
Yeah, well, I guess growing up, my dad was really, really into bodybuilding. He never competed himself, but we had Arnold Schwarzenegger's like bodybuilding Bible just like lying around the house. So I would
Yeah.
always see photos of that, and I would see. Then when I got older, I was looking at a lot of when bikini first came out. I was in high school,
Okay.
so I was seeing all these magazines, and I thought, oh, that would be me one day, but like never thought anything of it. And
Yeah.
then I kind of just started strength training in the gym when I was 18, just to get, a bit more confident, figure myself out, see what I
Yes.
liked. And then, yeah, I think through that, I just built a lot of muscle. And I had people ask me at the gym if I had ever competed before. And I said, no. And finally, I took the plunge eventually. Last year, actually, I decided
That was
to
your first
finally,
time getting into competing last year. Oh my gosh,
yes,
that's
yeah. It was a long
absolutely
time in the
amazing.
making, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you had a good starting because I know for some they get into it and they like start and stop, but for you being
Yeah,
successful starting last year then coming into your pro season, that's
yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
So I mean that's I want to know like so with you being in the UK
Mm,
and like competing, how is that like is it very competitive? Is there less shows, more shows like to find and compete
yeah.
in? Like how was that process getting started?
Well, I think, at least from my experience, like obviously the US and the UK bodybuilding scenes are very, very different. I
Yeah.
think, and I think it's something that James Atlas actually touched upon in a recent podcast episode he did with BTS TV, like the difference between Europe and the US in terms of like even just fit model standard is
Mm-hmm.
very vastly different. So I think. having done a show, even though it was a pro show in North America, I can see even the level of production is very, very different. It's kind of a
Yeah.
bit smaller here. So I think if anyone was coming from the US to compete over here, it would be maybe a bit of a shock to them.
Yeah.
And I say that in the kindest way possible. But yeah, it's very different. I think because my first season was in Fit Model and it
Yeah.
was the first year of Fit Model,
Which is this year. You mean like the
literally.
like last year or this year as in pro?
Yeah, exactly. So last year was the first amateur. So then I think, I also was competing towards the start of the year. So it was still quite
Okay.
quiet. And a lot of women were like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I think a lot of people were sitting out,
Back.
sitting back
Yeah.
and kind of just observing from the sidelines. So it was quite quiet when I did compete. There weren't too many girls. So I think that was also very interesting as well. I didn't really know what to expect, but I would say
Hmm.
it was smaller definitely compared to the US for
Yeah,
sure.
like the show I just did, it was 25 girls, and
Mm,
they were saying like that's considered small because previously it was like 40 girls in the
yeah,
class. So,
yeah.
but 25 is still a lot.
That is a
It's
lot.
still
It's
a
not
lot
even the
of
numbers we get here.
competitors. Yes. And so with you competing in North America and then in the UK, correct?
Yes.
How was that transition for you as far as like a pro?
Um, well, the first show I did as a pro was in Europe and then I did Vancouver.
Hmm.
I think the stepping up from going to like the pro shows was super it was just a really cool experience. Obviously,
Yeah.
like when you're at the amateur level, of course you go and you compete and your goal is to win and you're sussing out the competition, but
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
undoubtedly there's a mixed bag of people who are competing at an amateur level.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. So it can be people from all types
Yep.
of
From
backgrounds in it.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So it kind of feels like you're all at different levels, kind of. Whereas then when you get to the pro stage, like the level is stepped up and you realize
Definitely.
every single girl on stage has fought to get their pro card. And then you're there
Yes.
like, oh, okay, that's how it is. It's really competitive. And of course, then the first pro show that I did was Portugal with it was 40 girls. So
Oh
it was
my
37.
yes.
And then the three girls who won the pro qualifier the day before then came
They
to the pro
joined.
show. So that was 40. And I mean, it was insane. And it was a very international group of
Yeah.
girls, a lot of girls from Eastern Europe, a couple of girls from the US, girls from the UK, France, Italy,
Yeah.
Spain.
I
So
mean,
it
that's
was
pretty
really
cool
interesting.
to meet, people from all over. Like my show, there was a couple girls that I met that were in Portugal and then came here, and
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like to be able to talk to you and connect with people
right.
all over. I absolutely love that. And like, but what you said is very competitive, and then you compete, overseas and then come over to
Mm,
North America. It's a different standard, and you're trying to like fit
definitely.
that, and then you're coming over here. I know some of the girls, they're like staying here for a couple of weeks because we
Hmm.
have like Texas Pro, and then we have the
Nashville.
Pennsylvania, and then we
Mhm.
have Nashville as well, which
Yep.
and then there's one in Walton. There's a lot of them back to back, back to back. So they're
Mm,
all trying to get that qualification, but the standard over here may be different from what it is, over there. So it's
yeah.
it's a lot, but it's also who shows up,
Yeah. That's
who's
also what I was gonna say. Like it is at the
who's
end of the
coming
day.
to the show.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And you touched a little bit on, the differences between regional and the
Mm.
national stage. For you, like you said, going from that amateur level to that pro level, what is something that you see at that pro level that you're like, okay, I need to lock in on this and like work towards this for my upcoming show?
Oh, that's a good question. I think definitely seeing oh, the conditioning was something that I noticed was like vastly different.
Yeah.
And that was what was one of the biggest like shocks for me because I think at least at the amateur level what we have seen or what we had seen last year in the UK was a little softer look, but now
Yeah.
I'm realizing that and a lot of people are also saying this, like fit model, actually, you do need to be really well
Just a little bit of
conditioned. You do
muscle,
need to
just a
have muscle.
touch.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you actually, and when you see someone on a photo, like when I'm seeing girls, like other fit models I know online, like we chat and everything, and then I see them in person, I'm like, oh, you're actually huge. You're big. You're really good, like in a good way. So that was something that I'm definitely bringing to my next shows at the end of the year. I'm definitely working on better conditioning
Yeah.
and sort of becoming a little bit more streamlined in some areas. That was, I think, something that was really helpful to kind of
And I
get
say
feedback
people
on.
have to be mindful. Like you'll see the photos and everything that come out. Like for me, I'm in the 110s, and but on camera it adds 10 pounds. So you're thinking, oh, this
Yes.
girl is, not big, but all right. But then
Yeah.
you see them in person. For me,
Yeah.
you're like everybody is tiny. You're like 109, it's like hundreds, 99, like two digits. So
Yeah.
you definitely gotta go to a show, see, watch,
Yeah.
okay. But it's also about who shows up. And so as
Yeah.
a pro, it gets very challenging for us. And I love that.
Yeah.
And
I love
but
the
it's
challenge.
also a challenge against ourselves. Like every time we want to be
Yes.
better. The girls
Yeah.
that the show I just did, everyone was great. How was your experience in Portugal?
No, it was a really, really good experience. Like I said, it was a huge show. I think I we did go into it kind of unsure what the standard would be. There was a whole range of different physiques. I think that was what was a lot of the girls were saying backstage when we were chatting about it. There were a lot of girls who were a little bit harder, a lot of girls who were a little
Hmm.
bit softer. So I think Portugal, it would have been extremely difficult for the judges
To
on
choose.
that day. And
Yes.
like
Because
that's
who
also
shows
something that
up?
I think people do forget. Like the judges also have a really difficult job. They're there for hours, but then they're also seeing, like for Fit Model, a range of different physiques. I mean, which way
Yeah.
do you go? So that was a really, really cool experience. But yeah, it was
Tell me
definitely
about
very
the circle. That how girl, how was that?
let me tell you, oh my gosh. Well, at the athlete meeting, they were telling us beforehand, like, we've got a podium, it's gonna rotate. And I'm going, oh, okay, that's kind of cool, like little Barbie dolls going around. And
Yeah,
he said, feel free to just do any pose you want, like just pose it up. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I might do my routine on, whatever.
yeah,
I was watching the bikini girls and not a single one of them moved. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a little bit harder to
to
move on
move
that thing
around.
because it's, get
Yeah,
on there, wobbled like hell. And then it raised up and we were all just kind of like backstage with the curtains
oh
going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You
yeah,
could feel it was wobbly. And then it just kept going higher and higher. So it was such that I've never been on anything like that in my life. And I
yeah.
don't
It
know if I'll
looked
ever do
pretty
anything.
cool though. Just y'all made it look
I think the
amazing.
effect is really cool, especially like
Yeah,
all the girls. We weren't actually sure if we'd all fit because the guy backstage was like, I don't know how many of you girls can fit. You're going to have to like really, really squish. So we all had to
yeah.
squish up. So it was a bit tricky, but I think honestly,
It
it
was
was
so
such a cool,
cool.
and
It
it
was
looked
popping up on my
awesome.
timeline. I was like, look
Yeah.
at
Literally, it
them.
was like a revolving Barbie doll sort of like thing.
Yes. And
Yeah,
so
no,
with
that was really.
you coming into bodybuilding, you're doing your pro shows. What was something that helped you stand out at your amateur show to go pro?
Um, well, so I had two. I went pro in my second ever show, which was the pro qualifier. So I only had 2 weeks between those two shows, but I knew from the first show that I did, the first ever one, my posing and my presence was just not it.
Yeah,
I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. And so I think the most important part for me was realizing that with Fit Model, especially, you can have the physique, but if your presence and your posing is not like
1000%. Yeah. That's the
then,
fun part for me. I love posing.
right?
That's like
Exactly, exactly. So I really honed in on that in the last couple of weeks between the shows. And I think I was looking at some clips the other day of just those two shows and the difference in that I felt more confident. I also felt like I'd done a show before, so I knew what to expect walking on, doing
Mm-hmm.
the routine, looking at the judges. But even something as simple as like facial expressions, how,
Yep.
where are you looking with your eyes? Are you doing something a little flirty? Are you kind of,
Yep.
it's the whole
Body
thing. So I
movement.
think
Yeah.
that was what I focused on so much, especially in my off season as well. So I would say that perhaps my posing helped me stand out,
Yeah.
because I mean, when I was in the pro qualifier, the other two girls who were in the overall with me, I think looked like fit model as well. They looked amazing. So I
Yeah.
don't know if it was maybe my posing routine or my presence that was just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit extra. But yeah, I would say posing is, for
It's
me, it's the most important.
1000% because even for myself when getting on, because I did two national shows, I went pro my second show.
Hmm.
It's 16, then it went up to like 25 girls.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, everybody looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Everyone's fine.
That that posing is really going to set you apart. And that front pose, it's really different for everybody. So you have to figure out what is best for you and your body shape when you're in that post perfect
Yes.
model. Like bikini K, you just got the one side. But us, it's
Hmm.
so many different angles. You can put that front leg in to the right, to the left,
So many
however.
mistakes can be made as well.
Yeah. So, and then even for me, looking back at my videos, I can see which ones I got like more energy. And so, like you said,
Yeah.
looking back
100%.
to critique yourself to make yourself better for your next show, it's so important. And so, going to, you're going from your amateur, turning pro, doing your pro shows, what do you feel like was a challenge coming into the pro, space?
I think the biggest challenge for me personally was believing that I should be there. I think it was the mindset thing. I felt very, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do tend to forget that bodybuilding is so mental as well. Like
One
you
thousand
can
percent, yeah,
have,
it is.
food, like nutrition, training, whatever. You can control that as much as you want, but sometimes it's more difficult
You
to
gotta lock
control like
in.
your
Yeah.
mindset. So I think I was dealing with a lot of like stress. I was very worried about how am I going to present on stage, how am I going to look? So I think trying to de-stress and keep my mental state in a good
Good
place was
place.
actually
Yeah.
the hardest part of prepping for the
Yeah.
show
That's
for
a
the
good.
pros.
I'm glad you brought that up because I know a couple of ladies that I was talking to is just like that mental state. Like, yeah, you can have your
Yeah.
food, your workouts, but if you're not
Yeah.
mentally locked in, it can be
Hmm.
even more of a challenge to go into that
Yeah.
next show.
And then that shows on stage as well. If you're feeling really crappy about yourself and you're feeling like you don't really belong there, then you're going to go on stage and I mean, nothing's
Oh
going to
yeah.
land and nothing's going to hit. So you
Mm-hmm.
kind of have to psych yourself up and be in that mindset, go on stage and be like, I'm a bad bitch. I deserve to be here.
Like you gotta put
Even if
them
you don't feel
headphones
like it.
in, get your energy right. Cause even
Exactly.
having makeup that you don't like can throw your whole day off. Like I usually do my own
Yeah.
makeup. This past show I had LaBoo do it. Loved it. I was super happy. I was like, oh,
Mm,
okay. But
yeah.
next show I am going to do my makeup again because
Mm,
I just like being able to control the things that I can
yeah.
control, which is hair, makeup, posing,
Yeah.
how I present on stage. Who shows up? I don't know. I don't know who gonna
Yeah.
be there, but I know
But you can
everything that
control
I can
everything
lock
else.
in. I'm gonna lock in and make sure it's good. And so for
Yeah.
you, pushing through, getting into that pro level,
Mm.
getting into those pro shows, and you kind of having that experience now. What are some of the things that you see new competitors doing that they're doing wrong when they're going into these shows?
I think a lot of people do put a lot of pressure on themselves to do well the first time. And I
Yeah.
know I'm saying that. I mean, I did go pro quite early on.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I was going to go back and tell myself or give myself some advice, it would be like, don't put the pressure on yourself. It's so cliche. Just enjoy the moment. But really, you've worked weeks, months to get to that point where you're on stage, which is more than like the vast majority of people will ever do in their lives. They're not confident enough or brave enough or whatever to get on the
Yeah.
stage.
Oh
And
yeah.
you've taken that to the next level to actually get on there. So I think that's a win in itself,
It is.
regardless of how you place. But I do think, and that's something that I do see on social media a lot, especially in the fitness industry, not specifically just bodybuilding, but
Yeah.
putting pressure on yourself to achieve something quickly,
May take time.
trying to
May
go
take a couple of years.
exactly, I saw Phoebe Hagen had written something about how it took her over 10, 12 shows to go pro, and then it was
Yeah.
like 13 plus shows to get the Olympic qualification, and
Yeah.
like she's doing so well. And also that you're not too old to do it, or
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
turning 30 next year, and I've had still had people
Girl,
go,
what?
oh,
I'm thinking
but
you over here at 22, 23. Like,
no, no, but
look,
I've had
bodybuilding keeps
girls.
us young
It
forever.
keeps you
Like,
young. Yeah, exactly. And all the water and hydration. But it's like
exactly.
I think a lot of people do think, oh, but you've got to be a certain age even, or like a certain type of person, but you really don't, as long as you want to do it and
Hmm.
yeah. So I would say
Yeah.
just don't force yourself, don't pressure yourself to do anything. Just
Enjoy
enjoy,
that
feel
ride
it.
to
Yeah,
becoming
exactly.
a
Yeah,
pro. And if you go
exactly.
pro quickly, awesome.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And if you don't, that's also
enjoy
fine.
it. Yes. And even
Yeah.
for a lot of pros coming into this new space,
Mm,
the first Olympia coming up, everybody want to be on that stage. That's
yes.
why
Yeah.
it's 40, 30, 25 people
Mm,
in a show because we all want to be the first ones. And
yeah.
what I will say for those who want to be on that stage, including myself, knowing that,
Mm,
okay, the Olympia is coming up, but it's also coming up every year.
yes.
So if you
Exactly.
don't get it this one, you still have plenty of
Mm-hmm.
opportunities to be on that stage. And every show that has been done this year, us as fit models, we are making history. We are paving that way. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly telling the girls, like, even if you didn't get the placement that you want, we're still the first ever fit
Yeah.
models to hit this stage. Everyone else after us, we're kind of
Mm-hmm.
like already set the stage for them. So definitely I'm like thinking bigger picture, for the
Yeah.
girls.
A
And I do
hundred
that a lot
percent.
for myself. So even if it's not the Olympia stage, look at all the other stages that we've hit for the very first time ever. So,
Yeah.
you got to think about it full picture as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
So for you, the new competitors, you're telling you want them to enjoy the process. And I think that's
Mm,
really some good words for those who are tuning in and wanting to get into the bodybuilding space. Now, coming back into you, we want to know a little bit. Do you have any upcoming competition events that you would like to share with those on here?
yes. I have 4 pro shows at the end of the
Nice.
year.
Nice.
I have announced on my socials that I
Yes,
am
go
doing the
follow her.
UK
Go
Pro.
like, follow, click all of that good stuff.
I'm doing the UK Pro on October 17th. So that is going to be the UK's first ever Fit Model Pro
Oh,
show.
cool. I didn't know
Um,
that. Nice.
yes, yeah. I think they're marketing it as instead, unless I'm imagining this, but I think they're marketing it as like it's a ladies' night. So they're going to have
Yeah.
women's divisions in the evening for the pro
Okay.
show. And then after that, I have the Colosseum Pro in Milan, which is the week
That
after.
sounds so cool.
Right?
Like,
I know, the Colosseum Pro. I love it.
do
Oh,
you
thanks, Claire.
do your day in the life for like
Yeah,
shows for those that want to follow and see? Because one day I'll get to Milan, but I need to live
yeah,
through you when you do
yes.
go. So,
I will be vlogging. I will be vlogging.
first,
I
awesome.
was doing a countdown for the pro show in Portugal where I would do like once a week I'd do, but I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah,
Especially a day in the life. Like so many of my friends who aren't bodybuilders are really interested in like
yeah,
what do you
it's
even do on show
cool.
day? So it's fun. So I've got the UK pro, I've got Milan, then I've got Romania
Oh, cool.
after, and then Madrid in Spain is
Nice.
finishing me off for this year.
Yeah.
So 4 shows back to back. I can do
Like
it.
when you say back to back, like literally one,
The
two,
first two
three.
shows are literally back to back. I think I
Yeah.
step off the stage at the UK Pro and I'm literally in my peak week for the next one. And
Okay.
then the next 2 shows after that are 2 weeks apart. So it's
Okay.
like a
That's a
week and
good
then a peak
little
week.
break in between. I've done
Time to
shows back to
scrub the
back to
tan
back.
off.
That, yes, the tan coming on because if you don't, it's going to be splotchy on stage. It's just not a good feeling. So
No.
We
No.
will definitely be rooting for you, girl. I'm
Thank
so
you.
thankful that you were able to join us and share your story with us and able to
Thank you for having
connect with
me.
those. Of course, connect with those from all over. Hopefully, one day soon we'll hit the stage together.
Oh, I can't wait.
And yes. And so, for
Definitely.
those of you who are on here, be sure to follow her, like, follow her blog, her YouTube, follow her journey to the pro stage. And even when she's not competing, supporting her business as well. And for those of you who are on here, I just want to say thank you for continuing to watch us every Monday night where we interview some of your favorite competitors. Once again, thank you for joining us,
Thank
girl.
you. Thanks so
And for
much for
those of you
having
on
me.
here, yes, yes, yes. Remember to always be a beauty and beast mode. Good night, guys.
Bye.